Good evening, everybody. Is that how
Oh,
to do
we're
it?
singing.
Was
We're
that
singing the
okay?
intro. Yeah, we're doing.
Yeah, apparently so.
Tandem. Good evening,
Hey,
everybody.
everybody. Welcome to the
Comics.
Show.
Oh, it's nice. I like that. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Good night, everybody. Thanks.
And we're done. Yeah.
Yeah, thank God. Guys, welcome to the Killer Comics Show. I can see that we have some people who have actually joined us this evening, even though it's just my good self and Mr. YouTube Royalty himself. Do you like when we call you YouTube Royalty?
No.
I thought it was like a little twitch you had, because every time somebody says it, you kind of go.
Because I hate. Do you know what? Believe it or not, and people in the chat will say bollocks, but believe it or not, I hate attention. So I don't like praise. I'm not good at praise and shit like that. So yeah.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
It's true.
Wait a minute. How many subscribers?
Introvert.
How many videos do you do?
About 4,000 a day. But apart from that.
Yeah. Apart from that, yeah. So, guys, if you want to unsubscribe from Triple G Comments, feel free to do so, because he doesn't like the attention.
Don't like the attention. Yeah.
Peter, we missed you the last couple of weeks. You were on your hollybobs with your lovely family. How did that go?
Superb. Do you know what? I've properly moved now. I've transitioned into that old man fart phase. So now I do cruises. Do you know what I mean? Like a proper pensioner kind of thing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was negative about going. I wasn't sure, but then, I'm a convert. Great way of ticking off easy visits, sitting, drinking, eating, and all kinds of shit. So yeah, it was good.
And more importantly, what do those old man farts sound like these days? Nice. But should we dive into the chat on that note? We've got your good self, evening all, what's occurring? We have Mr. Ant Dec. How's it going, my friend? Evening killers. Hello, friends.
Is Ed confirm it? He's definitely come to Thought Bubble, isn't he? Ed's coming.
He better be. He better be. I don't think they're getting the bus though. Right. Because they got the bus the last time. I think both of them were pretty much licking the windows at the end of it. It was it was a sight to behold. We'll get Dead Man in the chat. Thank you very much, my friend. I got a video dedicated to me from Dead Man. And it almost brought a tear to my rather old glass eyes. It was absolutely beautiful. I really appreciate it. So thank you. I'm looking forward to my next one. So, Peter, have you dedicated a video to me?
Loads, mate. Loads. They're all X-rated, but you can only see them on my OnlyFans.
I know.
Dead Man's put a video out today actually about. I always get it. It's not John Hicks. Is it Jonah Hicks? Jonah Hicks.
Jonah Hicks.
Yeah, it's really good. Well worth a watch, particularly for someone like me who knows nothing about Jonah Hicks. So yeah.
Well, you definitely described it well there. So well
I did.
We'll get back down high up, me ducks. We'll get Mr. Von Hoot in the building. We'll get Fuzzy, my main man Fuzzy. Don't ignore me or block me, thanks. Give it time. I don't even know how to block someone, but I will find out later today.
I don't believe that for a second.
We have to subscribe before you can block.
Yes, of course.
We've got Wayne Deacon. Hello, twins. Wait, whoa, twins?
Well, I'm not sure who should be more offended.
Is it because we're from the north? Woo. Or is it woo? LFG, we know what that means. We've got Mrs. Von Hoot in the building. How's it going? Fuzzy is saying, does he like it? Does the Pope crap in the woods? Does he?
He does.
Does he have his own woods too?
He's got his own private woods. I met him when I was away. He's got his own private woods, and he's got someone who kind of holds his robes up for him, so he hasn't got to touch anything. Very clean. Very clean man. Yeah. Impeccable nails. It
sounds similar to you at Thought Bubble, actually.
It is. Yeah.
Dr. Von Hoot saying Ed better be coming to Thought Bubble. He's a legend. Exactly. And it's his round. All aboard the Thought Bubble train, not bus. Yes. Okay. He's getting the train this time. Dr. Von Hoot is saying, don't just spill your beer on my comics again.
That was hilarious.
I missed that.
That was London. We had a fair few in. We decided to do something different in London, Andy. We went to a higher establishment called Wetherspoons. Don't know if you've heard of it. And we ended up in there and we had a good night. And then Ed went, bless him. Everybody else had been ordering on the app. Ed went and bought a full round at the bar, walked the entire length of the pub, got to the table and went, and just threw it everywhere, all over Von Hoot's Free Comic Book Day comics.
Did that again? How did it go?
Just like that.
Next. We have got Dead Man saying, wish I could afford cruises as a pensioner, spending too much on Batman comics.
Very true.
Batman comics wins, to be fair. Ed is saying, thanks, Doctor. Trying to turn it down to 8 this year. Lol. We'll try. Wait a minute. This is the same guy. I've got videos which I may or may not post up to the social medias. And it was basically Ed shaking at one point.
Convulsing. We'll call that convulsing. Yeah.
And then ordered 3 woo-woos.
Yeah. Woo-woo. On the same night in London, he started arguing with the bouncer because the Ed was literally bouncing off the walls. And the bouncer said, how many of you had a drink, sir? And he went, 2! He went, yeah, you know. God, out you go.
Yeah, too many. Yeah. Like, here's the word there. MG Comics is in the building. How's it going, my friend? If you haven't checked out MG's channel or his recent videos, I would urge you to do so. Some absolutely fantastic content happening on the fella's channel. And I think we are up to date. You're normally the person that does all this, Peter. Are we up to date?
We are up to date. I see, I still don't have control, so I can't highlight comments. So, yes, as far as I can see, we are up to date.
Right. So if I just go, then we can just stop this because you don't have...
I would just have to... I wouldn't even be able to switch it off, so I would just have to sit here looking at the screen for forever, really.
Probably get more views, to be fair. But on that note, I think our good friend Charlie calls this the business end. So should we just get into it?
Let's crack on, yeah.
Let's do it. I'm really proud of myself that whilst that video was playing, I managed to switch over the little icon, bring up the slides as well, and get it to the proper slide.
Flawless.
Honestly, I'm seriously considering bringing my channel back.
Do it.
Chance, not a chance. MJ's asking where the ugly guys have gone.
Maybe his screen's gone off. I don't know.
Doctor saying that's Peach Dream, surely a never-ending live stream.
Did you say Peach's Dream there? Or did you say Pete's Dream? Sounded like you said that's Peach's Dream.
Do you know what? I don't actually know if I remember starting this show. I've just been like speaking. I don't really know what's going on. But enough of this nonsense. We are here for one thing and one thing only, and that is to look at some sexy covers, as Triple G would say.
Sexy.
Some are better than others, and I believe just before we start Stuart's inquiry, one of them may have been stolen. So someone else might have picked this, and someone else has taken the credit for it. But we'll see which one it is. So these are covers for yesterday's new comic book day, the 28th of August. And first up,
God,
Peter.
Look at that sexiness. Sexy leather. So this is Batman, the Brave and the Bold. 35th anniversary variant cover by Lee. I don't do names. Bermejo?
Lee Bermejo.
Bermejo. Oh, I like how he did that. Bermejo. Now, I'm going to put my hands up and say, Fuzzy, I think, put this up on his Instagram. And
I think he's just confirmed that, Peter.
He's true. Yeah, he's true. Yeah. Fuzzy, you are a trendsetter, mate. What more can I say? And I just loved it. Absolutely loved it. I love the fact that the yellow behind him kind of represents the bat sign, the bat symbol, as it were. I've always loved that version of the bat costume. I just think it looks great. It just looks very, very impressive. Now, I know people will say, oh, it's the same old Batman. It's a standard Batman cover and all the rest of it. But you can't beat the classic, can you? It shouts Batman, so it looks mint.
Absolutely screams Batman. And to be fair, when you look at it, I don't think you get the full appreciation for the first time you look at it, because I didn't actually realise that it was the bat symbol that was behind him, kind of giving him that sort of silhouette. So I think this is fantastic. And to be fair, I can't really say many bad things or any bad things about it, because really Fuzzy picked it first and you just stole it from him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Stick with them. Terry's making a good point there. I'm not sure it's 35th anniversary. I can't read it too right little on the thing. Is it not 75 years of Batman?
Could be, yeah. 35th anniversary of what? Has Charlie got this wrong again? Can somebody look up the old Googles and see what Batman's?
Yeah, but before we continue, Andy, we should probably make it very clear, shouldn't we, that whilst we are the hosts with the mosts, whatever slides come our way, we didn't do, did we? So
whoa, calm yourself there, Peter. What you'll actually find is this is a joint effort, but this is the Killer Comics show is a dream team combination. It's only one of us who doesn't have access to actually update the slides.
I don't know. I'm very old. I don't know how to get on it. Do you know what I mean? And I know you've tried to talk us through before,
but to be fair, Peter, like we've seen the quality of the slides on your show, and we thought, no, we're not giving you access. It's cool.
How dare you?
That's what Tom said. That was nothing to do with me. So yes, this is Batman the Brave and the Bold by Lee Bermejo, and apparently it's some sort of anniversary variant cover. Next 85th. Up. Surprise. We've got a G. Scott Campbell 1 in 100. Who do you think picked this up if you didn't see the little icon on the bottom right-hand side?
I think this is... this isn't for me, this one. I'm not a massive J. Scott Campbell fan, but I don't think this is his best work by far, mate. I think Rogue's face looks weird. I don't know, it's not jumping out at me, this one, sadly.
I don't think it's anything special. I think whenever you put all these covers together and it makes up the X-Men logo with all the characters on it, I think that's when we'll see the beauty in all these covers. I think it's a combination rather than the individual elements of it. I'm just going to dive into the chat here. Fuzzy saying it's perfection. I chose this over 3 Scott Youngs. I was going to say that there was a fair few Scott Youngs that were it.
There was, there was.
Dead Man is saying it's the 85th. Detective 27 was released in 1939. Spitting facts there, Dead Man. Thank you very much. Bat Dan is saying Bermejo's interpretation of bats is excellent.
It is.
Batman is absolute, and he's Joker as well. He can do
it's phenomenal.
Connie, have you decided if you're coming to Belfast to give Peter a hug?
Yeah, I need a hug.
Yes, that would be great. Let us know. Apparently YouTube didn't tell you were live.
Yeah, we are live, aren't we? We're not just. This isn't a dream. We are live because James is saying the same thing.
Oh, really? Did I set it up and do something wrong? we must be in YouTube because there's 13 people watching us. Definitely unlucky for some.
I wonder if the time zone's been set wrong or something like that.
Oh, who knows? Who cares? Who cares, Peter? We're here. We're doing it. Fuzzy is saying that this is too green and it's the poorest of the 3 so far. Is it maybe a case that we're maybe getting a little bit bold of them? It's a bit samey, perhaps.
Now people are going to jump on us. I'm not a massive J. Scott Campbell fan, mind. Some of his stuff's great, but yeah. And again, people will definitely riot. For me, it's a bit the same as Scotty Young. I'm kind of done with some of Scotty Young's stuff now. I know.
Peter, calm yourself, please. What's happened to you on this boat trip?
Honestly, too many banana coladas. They've swilled me brain.
I think I definitely didn't set this up correctly, so let's just move on very quickly. MJ, she is sitting on the X-Men logo apparently, so whenever you join them up, that's what you'll get. The chat, there's too much chat. How does Charlie do this? My anxiety is through the roof. Fuzzy's saying, to be fair, I wish I didn't get the notification. Wow, you cheeky. I know how you feel, to be honest. Connie's saying that she probably will. My niece is demanding I spend time with her, so I'll probably come home that weekend and see everyone, even though I live in the same city as Peter anyway.
It's true.
So you're basically chasing them to get a hug. That's what I'm reading into that. Leon Russell has joined. Day up, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Did I miss out? Absolutely not. Haven't missed a thing. Let's just... And Dead Man's making a really good point here. Who can afford the 8 times 1 in 100s if they're 8 to make up the picture?
It's a very good point.
The answer to that is pizza. That is the answer that you're looking for.
But I wouldn't.
So this is a thumbs down for
seriously,
you?
do you not think her face does look weird? She reminds us a little bit of, did you ever watch Married with Children? She reminds us a little bit of Peggy, his wife, Al's wife. I don't know why. It's just a strange.
I'm never going to. And if she's wearing those kind of a like leathery trouser type situations, why is she not sliding off that? Because that's like a 65-degree angle.
I agree, Andy. I don't think this is real. I don't think this is a real interpretation of
Peter. I'm all about the real talk here, and that is exactly. As much as this cover is very green, but how
what kind of noise do you think it makes when she slides?
I was just thinking that in my head, weird, doing the same. I was.
Yeah.
Was that not the same sound as your fart?
No, that was more of a. I don't think she'd make that noise.
Okay, we're down to 10 people watching, so let's move on very, very quickly. This is my pick, guys. I went for something a little bit different. I went for Philadelphia issue number 35, and this is the cover B by Clayton Crane. I love this. I'm a big fan of Philadelphia. I know that you guys are going to be interviewing Mr. Rodney Barnes very, very soon. Is that correct?
Yep, next week. Yeah,
next week. So definitely tune into that. But yeah, I love a bit of Savage Dragon, and this actually reminds me of an Irish artist called Terry Bradley. He has this sort of look and theme, and this is definitely one that caught my eye. Just something a little bit different from what I would usually pick. So, what do you think, Peter?
Yeah, I like Clayton Crane's work. I have to say, I particularly liked. He did a run on X-Force, Love and Violence, or something I think it was called, which was very, very strong. I love Philadelphia, so I'm liking. To be honest, I'm not a massive Savage Dragon fan, particularly of the more recent issues, but I'm kind of focusing more on the werewolves and the vampires and things in the background. That's what's jumping out more at me than the Savage Dragon, perhaps.
So you don't like Savage Dragon, you don't like J. Scott Campbell, you don't like Scott Young? What's happened? And Connie's in agreement. She's never really gotten the hype about Scott Young either. What is Fuzzy's going to reply to this? There we go. Come on, Connie. I used to like you. No anti-Scotty chat. I knew you'd be right there. And I think we've got the hashtag of the evening. Sweaty legs.
Sweaty legs. Yeah.
Should we do a giveaway for that later on? And that's the
hashtag sweaty legs.
Yeah. Let me see. What's next? Let me take that off. Speaking of Scott Young, I was rather upset and annoyed because I was annoyed that I didn't remember this book, even though I went on to the website to pick up 3 copies of it. This is Frankenstein issue number 1. This is the Scott Young store exclusive variant, which was on sale the last couple of days. Peter, you've mentioned you're not a big Scott Young fan, but I know you're a big monster fan, so how does this one sit with you?
I love this, sadly. I've got nothing negative to say about this. I really, really like it. This for me is when I enjoy Scott. I think with Scott Young's work, I'm just kind of the mini Marvel baby things out. Do you know what I mean? I'm done with them a little bit. I like it when he does different stuff, like the Transformers he did and stuff like that. And I like this. I think this looks great. That said, and again, Fuzzy, don't want to upset you, I don't think this is the best of the Frankenstein covers. There's a black and white cover, which is stunning, absolutely stunning. Can't remember who the artist is on it, but it's amazing. But this is very, very good. I like this a lot.
I did see that he was doing some sign covers of this, and he uses like a real luminous green paint pen.
Right.
And it really pops. And I was like, oh, well, I picked that up. $175 for the CGC guaranteed 9.8 as well.
It's crazy, man, for a modern comic.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it cheaper, but yeah, I don't know. I think as well as having the hashtag for today, we've definitely got the joke of today and the pun of today. Philadelphia with chives is great on toast.
Terrible.
And Fuzzy saying it amazes that it's still solely written and art by Larson. Yeah, that's for Savage Dragon. Yeah. Absolutely. Connie saying he likes his storytelling, but the art looks like stuff people used to doodle on the back of maths books in secondary school. Like it's cool, but I'm not super wild.
Just spot on.
I didn't do maths in secondary school, but that's a different story. And Dr. Von Hoot is agreeing with you. The black and white is jaw dropping.
Stunning.
I don't think I actually seen that. I think I was too in awed with the Frankenstein cover, but I'll definitely catch it.
It's worth checking out. It's a really nice cover.
So that's our 4 covers for this evening, guys. I think Tom has already put the voting up, so that should already be there. Please let us know if it is, and vote until your heart's content, as long as it's not for Peter. Buddy's saying that it's a Middleton, so it's a Joshua Middleton black and white.
I think that's right, yeah.
Is it like a 1 in 50, 1 in 25?
I can't remember, to be honest. I mean, Fuzzy will be able to let me know, I'm sure. I just remember when I was looking for covers for the show, scrolling through all the different Frankensteins, and that one just leapt out. Yeah. I'll definitely be picking up a couple of copies of that.
Yeah, definitely have to check that out. There we go. So that's our 4 covers for this evening. Get voting, please. I hope you have YouTube opened up, Peter, because I don't, so you'll need to tell me who wins and all that good stuff at the end, yeah. Next up, we have a rather, I don't want to build this up too much, but I think this is probably the best Are My Eyes of the season so far. So these are the covers that we sort of jumped out at us for different reasons. And first up is my pick, Power Girl issue number 12 from DC Comics. This is the Tuma Hill variant. I'm a massive Power Girl fan, and there's been some awesome Power Girl covers. Peter, I'm going to let you maybe take this one. What do you think of this? Is this not just a bit rough? You're on mute? No,
I'm not on mute. I'm just trying to articulate my dirty thoughts. I like this. I don't know what I think. She looks very masculine, kind of bodybuilder type, but it's doing it for. I think this is quite nice. I'm not sure of the cape kind of covering that arm and chin bit, but yeah, I don't think this is too bad. Do you not like it?
That's the whole point of me picking it. Yeah,
I just
it's. Like Leon saying, I bet she's got a deep voice, perhaps. And Fuzzy's saying, I mean, the obvious things are there at least. It was more the face and the eyes kind of gave me like it's got that evil eye look about it, and then look at the hands on the hips.
They're masculine looking hands on.
No, it just wasn't for me. And I've actually had a look at the other covers by this artist, and yeah, they're kind of the same vibe. So yeah, not for me. Peter, you love it. I'm going to buy a copy.
Yeah, it's alluring. It's dragging us in. Yeah.
And Fuzzy's asking, is that a Superman sign? I believe it is.
On the cape, yeah.
I think, on the cape, yeah. I wonder if this is going to be like some sort of connecting variant, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
Jesus.
I wonder what the version of Superman look like. Yeah,
exactly. And Dead Man is an experiment in watercolors, not quite there. Yeah, not one for me. Next up, we have your Jesus. We have yours.
Howie. I mean, I mean, this is Image Comics. So it's not like, do you know, sometimes when we've done this show, we've found, and I felt bad about it, we've found like Billy's published his first comic and it's, and we've kind of said, oh, this is awful. But this is Image. This is a top publisher's put this cack out, and I don't understand it for a start. The cover's kind of all over it's Kevin Eastman. See, I didn't even look at the artist. I didn't even look at the friggin' artist. I just thought, that's awful. It all makes sense now. Yeah, it's dog shit.
Do you think that Kevin Eastman can just do whatever he wants these days and it goes out?
I mean, I'm liking this. This is kind of a bad dance thing she's got going on there, but and again, I will upset the Eastman fans and the Turtle fans, and we always say, don't we, art's subjective and different people like different things. His style just isn't for me. Connie was talking earlier about the stuff you draw in the back of your exercise books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This for me his art style is very much when you used to try and draw your own comic at school for art class and staple it together on A4 paper with lines.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
with your eyes closed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's what it looks like. It looks like amateur drawn to me, but that's just me. I honestly didn't realize that was Eastman when I picked it.
I was going to say, no, I thought it was going to, when you said like any Billy just draws it, I was going, what, Billy Eastman has done this one? And I think that's important to say, like you touched on it there, like art is subjective and all that good stuff. We're having a little bit of a giggle about these covers, but don't take it too seriously. I know that some people have got upset in the past that we bring up covers and, you know, we don't say nice things about them, but, you know, yin and yang, you know, that's what it's all about. What sort of Doran chat saying? Oh my goodness. Poor Michael. Oh my. Okay. Now this looks like something drawn in a maths book in the 80s. Yeah, absolutely. Far too soon, dead man. Far too soon. And Ed's absolutely right. Like, is it a positive the fact that you can tell that it's an Eastman? Like straight away, it looks like a mixture between Eastman and Simon Bisley.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of vibe about it. Fuzzy saying Eastman is like Frank Miller these days, falling off so much, although I've never really appreciated Eastman.
I agree,
like,
Fuzzy.
If you hadn't, like, obviously Turtles is huge, Turtles is massive, but I'm just trying to think any other like well-renowned, well-known comics that Kevin Eastman has done, and somebody will probably jump in and tell me, because
honestly, I don't know what else he's done. I don't know what else he's done apart from Turtles.
And I guess the success of the Turtles, that gives him a right to do stuff like this. Like that's the way. That's how he's getting away with it. And thank you, Doctor. That's Frankenstein. Black and white is 1 in 25. Cool. It's not often that I miss a Joshua Middleton cover, so I assume that it must have been a ratio cover. And Ed is saying that he weirdly quite. Yeah, it's very weird, to be fair, Ed. And it definitely says a lot about you, Ed. We've got one more. We've got a special edition to My Eyes, and I alluded at the start that this may be the best edition of My Eyes for this one comic. Fuzzy Dunlop is a lot of things to a lot of people. He's a stalwart of all the comic community channels, but every so often he comes up with this. This is Lingerie Witches. Simon Hanselman, and this is the main cover. So that suggests that there's more than one cover to this. And I almost think the bottom right hand side that says $12, but I'm not entirely sure.
It does say $12.
I had to, like, very quickly when he sent me this, delete it from my phone in case my missus found my phone and was going through it and going, what is going on here? Like Kevin Eastman and then Lingerie Witches. I don't know what's going on. Peter, what do you think?
I
thought you were on mute there again. You're just stunned.
I just don't. Do you know what I mean? I don't get what is. I mean, I'm presuming the nose is meant to be referenced in the comic in some way. It's not just a shit drawing of a nose. It's
what do you mean? Go into more detail there, Peter. What are you suggesting?
That the artist just doesn't know what noses look like. I don't know. I just think it looks. It's weird. I mean, the way she's looking over a shoulder at you, like, you know, how you doing? It's quite alluring, I suppose.
Is that the look that she's given?
That's the look she's given. Look at that mouth. Look at the open mouth. It's just, yeah. It's not for me. It's not for me at all, I have to say.
I think this is absolutely fabulous, and any comic called Lingerie Witches completely and utterly intrigues me. What I would say, $12.
the intricate patterning on a brassiere and knickers is very detailed. I like that. They've put effort in there. That's nice.
I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah. Fuzzy's just picked this because of his She-Hulk fetish, but he's hoping this is, you know, he's going to cross the name out and just pretend it's Jennifer Walters, isn't he?
That's what Ed's a fan. He thinks this is the winner, and I don't disagree. I think this just wins YouTube to be fair this week. And Fuzzy's seen the worst part is he's pulled worse in his time. Hey, a female Pinocchio. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. The trees are nice though.
They are detailed. detailed.
The way the sun comes in and stuff like that. Yeah. And yeah, I noticed that in the bottom left hand side it says issue 27. Is that an issue or is it just saying
There's 27 variant covers for it, probably. Do you know what I mean? It's
27 reasons not to pick this cover. I think is what we're saying here. So yeah, guys, hands up to Fuzzy. This is the winner by far of the My Eyes. So we appreciate you. If anybody else in the future wants to send us either covers for either of the segments, then just drop a message and let us know, and we'll be more than happy to put them up. We're here for a reason, Peter, I believe, and it's to review comics, not just to have fun. You know what I mean? It's not about fun here. So this is for week 34 reviews, which was obviously last week's New Comic Book Day. And we've done things a little bit differently this time. So normally we would do the vote on the community tab and pick the top two. What we've done this week is we picked the top with 39%, which was Standstill from Image Comics. And then our good friend Fuzzy, again, came in and said, look, guys, why don't you review Patra? So we put Patra as the second pick. So, first up, we are going to look at Patra. Main cover is by Scott Collins, and Francesco Francavilla done a fantastic cover B, in my opinion. This is written by James Robinson, and the artwork, interior artwork, is by Scott Collins from Dark Horse Comics. So, Peter, I'm going to give my voice a rest and people's ears a rest. Why don't you kick us off with this one? Thoughts?
Yeah, this was an interesting book. So Scotty Collins, obviously, I'm familiar with his work from The Flash. He did a great run on The Flash in terms of artwork, and I really liked his style there. I think this is going to be an art style that's not for everyone. Some people will probably struggle with it. I don't mind it. I quite like his style. It's quite jagged, if you know what I mean, and lots of angles and sharp corners and stuff. But I quite like it, but it's not going to be for everyone. The storyline, I have to say, had us a little confused. So in essence, you've got this murder scene at the start in this town where an entire family's been slaughtered. I would say at this point, if you're a little bit squeamish, particularly about kids being killed, it does get quite graphic, and I was surprised at how graphic it was. That took us back a little bit. I love my horror. Do you know what I mean? I love my horror, but I was a little bit surprised at how that was played out. And then you get this kind of ongoing story of the guy who turns up, who explains that he thinks that this is the result of a guy who's escaped from his asylum, who's got a history of murder and people, which was all kind of straightforward and normal and felt a little bit kind of Halloween-y. But then I don't really understand what all the stuff about the mask is and the knife appearing and the killer having like glowing weapons appearing and stuff like that. It almost felt like two slightly different comics at times. It was a kind of a standard slasher comic, but then other stuff added in. And probably it's not making much sense because I don't want to spoil it for people. I want them to go and read it themselves. I like the art. The story has intrigued us. I will be reading on, but I kind of haven't decided yet whether I'm enjoying it or not, if that makes sense. But it's done enough to keep us coming back. I'll definitely come back for the next issue, I think.
I think the one thing that really confused, the main thing that confused me was the knife and the mask that kept appearing and disappearing at times. And I was trying to understand what was the significant thing that was happening to make that happen. Or was it just randomly happen?
I kind of read that as whenever she was at threat, those things appeared. But I was confused.
It's like some sense she's like summoning them, like whenever that happens. For me, Peter, I love the artwork. I think if it wasn't for the artwork, it wouldn't have had the same amount of energy. And keep you going. I think you're absolutely right. There was like maybe 1 or 2 pages where it sort of described one of the scenes that you see in the full page, and I thought, wait a minute here, this is happening to kids. This is just a little bit too much. But I think it was done in such a way where they didn't focus too much on it, but it kind of like you turned the page and then that was it. It was sort of gone. I loved it. I love Patra, the main character. I thought she was great. Specifically, the design of the character. I think the
Yeah,
second
very cool.
the image there really gives a reflection of what the character's all about. Obviously, you see the mask there and the knife, but just the perspective of that page, I think, is superb. The
Yeah.
word "jeepers," Peter,
Yeah.
that annoyed the. I didn't enjoy that element of it. I think the word "jeepers" was used about 6 or 7 times, and it was done in such a way where you would be getting to a really horrific part and a really, deep part of the story, and then all of a sudden, like in that second image, the only thing she would say would be "jeepers,"
Yeah.
and it just became a wee bit cheesy and corny at time for me. What about you?
No, I agree, and I know Fuzzy's saying that he thought the dialogue was sharp. I thought some of the dialogue was really clunky. If I'm being honest, it felt quite. I don't know. I don't know. It was an interesting read, like I say, and I definitely will go back, but I'm not sure that I really enjoyed it, which
Yeah.
is because I love horror. This is the kind of book that's right up my street. It's done
Mhm.
enough to keep us intrigued and to keep us looking. And it might be one of those books we talk about where where you go back and you look at the trade paperback and it flows better. At the moment, it's just a little bit confusing for us, I guess. But that's
No,
the
that's
it's a
fair.
first issue. I guess it's not
Yeah.
meant to answer all the story in the first issue, is it?
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. I think one of the characters that I really enjoyed in the first issue was that Dr. Daiquiri. That was like the shrink on the first page there. And I
Yeah, yeah,
particularly love the way this page is set up so you get the full image of his face and then you've got the panels in front of it. I think the way this is going to go is it's going to lead into more about the asylum and the fact that you'll see all the characters chasing Patra in some form of fashion. So
yeah,
you'll get different characters from the asylum trying to
yeah,
find her and kill her. Let's just see what the chat has been saying. So I know Fuzzy's obviously a big fan of this, so he
yeah. He's
bloody
a big
loved
fan.
this. The artwork for me in the story, I found the dialogue was sharp, and I'm eager for more. We'll definitely be reading on. For an issue 1, I was impressed. Fair. Um, Dr. Von Hoot, Fuzzy has sold me on it. He's ordered it. There we go. Fuzzy is an influencer. That's what he is. Absolute
Absolutely,
influencer.
absolutely.
Uh, Fuzzy saying that he took it that she was drifting in and out of consciousness, almost in a dreamlike state. We're as confused at this as she is at this stage. Yeah, absolutely right. And Von Hoot is saying here, it's worth a crack, and he does love a slasher. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought this was a really solid first issue for me. I really did enjoy it. I think the key word here is potential. I think it's got a
yeah.
huge amount of potential in it. And I think compared to some of the first issues that we've read over the last few weeks, this is leaps and bounds compared to those.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So yeah, I definitely want to kind of thank Fuzzy enough for bringing this to our attention because I'm not entirely sure I would have picked this up and read it if it
No,
wasn't for Fuzzy
and
mentioning it. So
I mean, I don't know what the team's thoughts are, but I really like this idea actually of us picking a book and then the chat picking a book as well for to read, because there's a
yeah,
danger, isn't there, sometimes that we're falling into reading the same stuff week after week.
uh, absolutely, and I think that's the beauty of us is doing it like a week behind as well. So
Yeah,
I think we'll. I guess the other two guys will be okay with it. So for next week's show, we'll show you our sneak preview picks, and we will pick the top on that. And then if somebody wants to suggest another book from this week that we'll read, then we'll add that onto the list. Does
yeah,
that sound all right? Yeah.
sounds good.
Cool. So that was Patra issue number 1. Next up, we have Standstill. Peter, do you want to run through the covers and stuff like that? Can you see that okay?
Yeah. So Scotty Collins, is it Scotty Collins? Scott Collins, that main cover. We've got Scott Collins main cover there. We've got the
No,
1 in
it's
10.
not. It's not. It's not. It hasn't been. I think it's Loughridge is the main
Okay,
cover, if I remember right.
okay. We've got the 1 in 10 by Matt. You're just making me say hard words, aren't you? Matteo Scalera.
That's wraparound, Peter. That's
Oh,
wraparound.
wrap around. I'm from Newcastle. We don't read well. And then we've got the 1 in 15 by Carrie Nord. I got that one. Yeah, some interesting covers. It's not a cover, mind. That I think if we hadn't picked this, I'm not sure I would have jumped on this book because the
Really?
cover's not really appealing to me. It's not
It gave
exciting.
me Inferno's kind of vibes. The main cover. It looked like a character that came straight out of Inferno's for me.
Yeah.
Um, do you want me to kick this one off?
Whatever you want, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So, Standstill issue number 1. So this was through Image Comics, and the main character that we see in all the covers here is Ryker Ruel. He's described in the synopsis as an enigmatic, lecherous and clinically insane sociopath who's stolen a top secret device that can freeze time. I think I picked this as my indie pick, and I was really intrigued by it because I liked that synopsis. And I think it's fair to say that there's been lots and lots of comics in the past that's used this idea of being able to, turn back time or move time forward. And I think with this comic, like the sort of tool that he uses is this thing on his wrist. And what we don't find out in this issue is whether this is some sort of technology. Is it some sort of something that he's found? Did you get where this special machine thing was?
There was a couple of scenes, wasn't there, in some kind of military lab thing where they were talking about something being stolen. So I just assumed it's some kind of
could be alien technology or something like that, or something like that. The whole basis of this was, if you could stop time, what wouldn't you do? And I think this particular page here was fantastic because you didn't know whether to like this character or hate him, because the synopsis should suggest that we shouldn't enjoy him, but just some of the stuff, especially when he was in the bar with all the bikers, and he basically gave a review of, well, do you know where your dress sense came from? And I thought that was fantastic. And then all of a sudden he just disappears. One of them sort of holding a knife, and the 5 or 6 of the other ones are all obviously lying there knifed and dying. Did you like this main character? Did you get a feel for him for this first issue?
Right. So I went into this having not read the synopsis or anything like that, and because I am very old and very slow, I hadn't even picked up on the title, Standstill. I didn't realize it was a time travel book or a time stop book. Do you know what I mean? I'll be honest, the first few pages, I was thinking, I don't know that this is going to be for me. This is a bit weird. I didn't like where I thought it was leading in terms of the kind of the sexuality stuff and the way he was talking around that. I thought this is a bit odd. And then when I started to understand what was happening and started to realize that it's actually a really, really clever, intelligent scene where he's talking about where the dress sense came from, a Marlon Brando and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I absolutely fell in love with it. This for me was a phenomenal book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. In terms of the character, I hate him, but I love him, if that makes sense.
And is that not the beauty? Is that not what wants to make you find out what's going to happen in issue 2 and onwards? Exactly.
Yeah. But I thought this was incredible. And I think maybe that's why I'm being a little bit unfair on the last book we read, because I read this first and then I went straight into the next one. So I came off this being really, really strong and felt, the next one wasn't as strong to me.
Yeah, and sometimes that happens if you do like back-to-back reading and stuff. But and sometimes it could be like if you read a really bad one, like you're suggest like, and then go into this, it's hard. I think for me, this main character was the standout winner of this book. I didn't know at the end whether I should be cheering for him. He was a kind of a like suave anti-hero. He was like the Robin Hood who goes out and punishes the guilty and stuff like that. And I love the take that the creators have done on this. I thought the artwork was stellar as well, especially with some of the detailed panels that was on this book. Yeah, I think it's a contender for maybe like one of the top issues for the year so far.
Absolutely.
For me, I'm definitely, I'm bought in. I'm there. I'm there for the long haul.
And like you say, we've had so many different time travel books and things like that, but I've never seen it used like this, because this isn't. This again, not spoiling it for people. I try not. This isn't time travel per se. This is stopping time.
Yeah, so exactly.
I just thought it was really clever the way they did things.
Yeah.
I have to say, I like the art. I really like the art. But I got slightly confused halfway through. I didn't really pick up that the character would be following with the Hawaiian shirt and all the rest of it, and then he went to the diner. I hadn't picked up that was the guy sat next to the bloke on the aeroplane. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that, and then it suddenly clicked. I thought, of course it is. But I had to go back and check the faces and the artwork and think, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I was exactly the same, and it was at that point that I realised that he was like, obvious. I don't know if teleporting's the right word, but he was jumping to different characters, and all these characters or groups seem to have some form of negativity to them.
Yeah.
That he was going against, you know.
He's a bit like a Dexter character, isn't he? I guess he's doing things that he thinks are a good reason to do, but he's sadistic in the way he's doing it and enjoying them, you know?
Yeah, it's like Venom. It's a bit like Venom, to a certain extent. Fuzzy saying here, absolutely my favourite single issue of the year so far. Everything was tremendous. The panel layout, the colours, the dialogue, 64 pages flew by.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Agree.
Well, there we go. We have a fan. The guy arguing with his wife, Colin, he designed the tech thingy. I thought
I didn't get that.
Who the army guys are talking about. No,
you might be right, Fuzzy. I thought he had just become aware of kind of crimes happening that he didn't believe were coincidences. I didn't pick up that he'd designed the tech, but he might have. That would make sense.
And the main character reminds me of Archer. Cocky, womanizing smarts. Edison here did get this, but I haven't read it yet. Looking forward to it. Looks and sounds classic Image. Yeah. That's probably the best way of putting it. It's classic Image. Yeah, you won't be disappointed. And Fuzzy saying you saw his watch glowing in the plane panels. Okay. Deadman has been influenced again. There we go. Just ordered it. Yeah, absolutely. This is you won't be disappointed. Dr. Von Hoot saying, unfortunately, I have to walk with the day folk tomorrow at work. Must retire to my slumber. Great show. Night all. Thanks for watching, Dr. Von Hoot. We appreciate it. And I think that's us caught up to date with the chat. So, out of 10, what would you give this, Peter?
Ooh, I really, really enjoyed this. I'd give it I'm trying to think of anything negative about it. 9.5 for me. I mean, it was top of the shop. I really enjoyed it. Out of everything I've read this week, I've read some CAC X-Men. This was top of the shop. Really enjoyed it.
Perfect. Yeah, I think I'd be there or thereabouts. 9 out of 10. I think the only things that dropped it slightly for me was just the confusion on some of those panels. But other than that, it was sublime. And I think I would give Patra 6.8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Baldwin on a 7. I did really enjoy it. And I think the artwork done it for me, to be honest with you, rather than the story. So yeah, two solid books.
Two good books.
Yeah, the other guys missed out. The last couple of weeks that you've been away, we've read some absolute rubbish, to be honest. So this was a welcome. Go on.
Because I haven't caught up yet on the shows. Flash Gordon, did you just read that? Was that any good?
Flash Gordon? Oh,
sorry. What you call them? Defenders of the Earth. Was it Defenders of the Earth you were reading?
It wasn't that great, to be honest, and I was really disappointed about it, Peter. Because I think like you, we're both fans of the cartoon.
Yeah.
It's the only book that nostalgia didn't save it, if I can put it that way. Okay. So yeah. Fuzzy's saying here that I'm going to read it again just to see if I got it right. Do you know what? I think this is a book that you could probably go back and read because there was so much in it.
Absolutely.
Deadman is saying you save $4.99 for 64 pages. That's a bargain. That's an Image thing as well, isn't it, Peter? Like, you know, good deals on the comics.
You kind of grumble at Image books a lot of the time. You know, they really are good quality and decent paper as well.
Absolutely. And Fuzzy's saying that it was nowhere near as good as the solo Flash Gordon.
Okay.
So I think that was like the prelude almost to that book.
Okay.
Should we get into some indie picks now that we'll...
Some indie stuff, yeah. Why not?
Some indie stuff. So this is our killer indie picks for September 4th. So this is next week's books. Hopefully we'll get another Standstill in amongst us. We've got not quite mint. We've got Tom's pick here. So I was saying to you, Peter, before that I didn't get left any notes as to what any of these books were about. So I done my best to have a look online. So UFO Robot Grendenizer, number 1. This is from Tank Comics. This is Xavier Dorison on writing, and there's various artists on this book. And reading the synopsis, it says based on the 1970s cult classic UFO Robot Grendenizer. Is that?
It's new to me. I've not heard of that one.
I was the same when I read the synopsis. I was like, nah, I've never heard of this. Duke leads story continues in this long-awaited sequel to the seminal magazine Mecha franchise. The war between the forces of Vega and Grendizer is but a distant memory, but from the confines of space, the ruined division emerges with the most powerful saucer beast, the High Dragon. Under siege, pilot Duke Fleet has no choice but join the fight and reawaken the mighty robot Grendizer, or risk the world he once fought so hard to protect. It sounds like Transformers meets something, other robots.
Yeah, it looks very Japanese, kind of Ultraman, all that kind of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, with some manga. It's very Tom,
Yeah.
I must admit. It's a very Tom book.
Yeah. Sounds interesting, mind. Sounds interesting. Big robots fighting monsters. Not going to argue with that.
Transformers versus Power Rangers. That was the word that I was thinking of. So yeah, this is UFO robot I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Grendizer. Next up, we have Inferno's issue number 5, Peter.
I feel like, I don't know if I've just, because I love this series, absolutely love this series. This is Infernos by Ryan Parrott and John Pearson. We've talked about this a lot, but then it dropped off my radar. So I don't know, has this been delayed or is it, I don't know. It feels like a long time since I've read this book, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I just want to continue reading it. I love this series. I think, is this the final issue? I'm not sure if this is the last issue or the penultimate issue.
I think it's a 6-issue run, I think. Somebody keep me right in the chat, Fuzzy.
Again, cover artwork on this is just absolutely
stellar,
phenomenal. I love this book. Again, this is a one that I will most definitely be picking up in a hardcover or something like that, because I just think the artwork is stunning. So I'm just excited to see how this goes. It's been a superb story so far. The guys in the chat saying it's delayed.
Yeah, 2 months delay, and that probably feels about right. I wonder what that delay was all about, to be fair. Yeah.
That's the danger, isn't it? I mean, we've talked about this before. That's the danger. If you're not getting into comic shops as often as you'd like to and things like that, it doesn't take much of a delay for a book to disappear from your mind. Do you know what I mean? And you miss the end, I guess. And then it's a year later and you think, hang on, what happened to that?
And that's probably the beauty of the hardcover and trade paperback buyers, because they'll just be like, I'll just wait till it's all there and I can sit down with a cup of coffee and consume it all. And I think to be fair, this is probably a perfect book, because I'm going to have to go back and read issue 1 to 4 to bring me back up to date before I read this. But yeah, that front cover's absolutely. So you've got a bat and a snake, and then you've got obviously the character in the middle. I think that's absolutely stunning.
I just love it. Love it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading that. Now, this was my pick, Peter. Have you heard about this book?
Andy, I haven't, but my eyes are immediately drawn to Jeff Lemire, and I've just read the last issue this week. I've just read the last issue of Fish Flies. It hurts me head. His work.
Do you think this is going to be another one?
I've never heard of this one, so you'll have to tell us what it's about. But I struggle with some of Jeff Lemire's work, I have to say.
And I can't disagree with you. To be fair, it's definitely, it's either really, really good or it's really, really confusing, I think, is the two. So this is Minor Arcana, issue number 1, written and artwork by Jeff Lemire, and it's from Boom Studios. As soon as I saw this in the previews magazine, the synopsis just jumped out at me. I thought this could be a winner. This could be an absolute real winner, but a winner for how long? We'll get maybe 3 or 4 issues and stuff like that. The synopsis reads: Teresa, the daughter of a small-town psychic fraud, returns home to care for her ailing mother, however begrudgingly. But when Teresa discovers that there may be more to the magic than she originally believed, she finds herself caught up in a town that desperately needs her help. Okay. That's the only synopsis. And I think a lot of Jeff's work, you don't get a huge synopsis of it.
So
doesn't give anything away.
But that's kind of part of my problem, I guess. So if I think of Fish Flies, I think of May's book in particular, it kind of gives you this very loose outline of a story, and then each issue I read and I think, I think there's something bigger at play here, or this is a part of it, and quite often it's just not, and it's like, I'm not sure where we're going or what we're doing. I just find it confusing. That said, that sounds right up my street. So I'll give it a go.
Yeah, I'm just intrigued with this one. There's just something that I'm getting a good feeling for it. But I could be,
Yeah.
I've said that about a lot of books and they've been absolute trash. But we'll see. But Fuzzy's saying that they'll definitely be rereading 1 and 4 to make sure I get back to the feel of this. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do myself, buddy. There's a Frisson cover for this.
Ooh, for Infernals.
How did it? No, for is it Minor? Which one are you referring to, Fuzzy? Sorry, I'm assuming it's Minor Arcana, but I could be wrong. There's one fan in the house. Yay, Jeff, I'm in. He said that before, Ed. Moving on. Connie said, I have beef with Jeff Lemire because his work always starts so good and then just falls so flat. Yeah, I think that's a general consensus. And yeah, this definitely had a bit of hype behind it. Let's see. Fuzzy said the chat's full of my comics. Apologies, I popped up. I'm hopped up on Jaffa Cakes. The sugar is ruined me, mate. You never have to apologise. You comment as much as you want. And yeah, it's Mind Arcana the Frisson cover is there. So
okay.
I can't believe I've missed that. Is that an incentive, Fuzzy, or is it just a open order? I've missed a lot. I'm a really bad comic reader. I'm missing so much. So yes, this is my pick. I think this is going to be a good one, and I'll more than likely probably pick this as for the vote to read in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'd be up for reading it.
Yeah, 100%. Rook Exodus, issue number 5, written by Jeff Johns, Jason Fabok on artwork by Image Comics. Charlie picked this one. This is obviously one that we've been reading, Peter. You're a fan of this book?
Loving it. I'm loving this book. It's very, very, very cool. And I want an action figure. I want some action figures of this.
I said it, mate. Can you imagine having the action figures? Or can you imagine having like a little display of all the different animal helmets that you can get?
Yeah. But do you know what? I mean, this is a great story, but I was thinking about it the other day, thinking of the action figures and things like that. I was thinking it's quite linked in some ways to the character design from the old Mask series that I know we both liked in terms of the helmet designs and things like that, you know? But yeah, I'm loving this. Jeff Johns, I think, has to be said as one of the hardest working writers in the industry. He just seems to be pushing out books left, right, and centre, but there doesn't seem to be a drop in quality in anything he's pushing out. And it doesn't seem, unless I'm wrong, it never seems that there's delays really attached to his books. I think he's a phenomenal guy.
Definitely consistent. The artwork's been fabulously consistent on this. And I think the storytelling reminds me a little bit of Snyder to a certain extent. It's like it keeps you going, and you can see it being built into like a TV or a movie series.
Absolutely.
But I'll say it until I get them. I want the action figures. Let's make that happen. Jeff, let's do it.
That said, so I don't know if you're aware, Andy, Mezco, who do some smaller scale figures but high price figures, I think they're normally around £100 or something like that, have just released the first Jeff Johns action figure, which is the Junkyard Joe figure.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it might be that these are on the plan, because if he's releasing Junkyard Joe, who's got ties into all of this and whatnot, it might come.
Even if he does like some sort of Kickstarter for the figures, and it's like an added extra, I'd definitely pay up. Fuzzy's saying that he stopped both Rook and Redcoat, not because they're bad, but Geiger is my favourite, and there's so much coming from Ghost Machine. I had to choose what to drop. That's fair.
That's fair.
So yeah, that's our 4 indie books. If there's anything that we've missed that's coming out next week, then just drop it in the chat or drop it in the comments for anybody that's watching the rewind. And it's normally about this time, Peter, that we ask people to hit that thumbs up and subscribe and all that good stuff, isn't it?
Please subscribe. How many subs is it at the moment?
I think we're at 920 something. So we're close to 1,000. You know, we just want to make Charlie smile and happy. That's all we do it for. Not for the 7 pence a month and advertising fees that we get. Okay, let's move on to our killer trades and hardcovers. Again, these are our killers, trades and hardcovers that have been released for next week. Something for you guys to look forward to. We'll get Void Rivals, Volume 2. I dropped off this after like issue 2, I must admit. So, Peter, I'm hoping you can help me out with this one. Is this something that you pick up? Is it worth?
Yeah. So Void Rivals is an interesting one. It got really popular because of that Jetfire cameo in issue 1, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And I think because of that, a lot of people kind of thought each issue, a bit like the Shyamalan effect, each issue should have some kind of big reveal, a big surprise or whatever. And there's no denying the storytelling lost its pace a little bit. Issue 3, 4, something I think it was. But I stuck with it. I did have a gap of a couple of months, and then I went back and reread. It's one of the strongest books around at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. It's picked up. The action in it's really good. The world building's really good. It's still got links to Transformers, so this character Springer's just appeared in it. Yeah, there's some. It's keeping my interest again. So it's well worth picking up, I think.
I'm glad that it's good, but in the same sense, because I've dropped it at issue 2, and I think this book covers issues 7 to 12, so I've got 10 issues to catch up, and I'm just like, oh no, this is not good. So yeah, I think this will retail about 15 quid, and it's 128 pages, trade paperback. So, if like me, you haven't been keeping on this is something for you to consider.
Yeah.
Peter,
look at this sexiness. I am an absolute sucker for Elseworlds tales. So I'm sure everybody knows, but Elseworlds tales are basically the DC version of What If. Back in the heyday when I was reading comics a lot more, Elseworlds were the big thing, and there were some cracking tales. So this is a trade paperback, a collection of some of the Superman based ones. First story in this is one of my all-time favorite stories, which I know, Andy, I know you're not a big Superman fan. Even if you don't buy this, I recommend you check it out. It's a story called Speed and Bullets. Have you heard of that one? So Speed and Bullets is where Kal-El's ship crashes in Gotham City, and he's adopted by the Waynes. They don't have Bruce, and then the parents are shot and killed in front of Superman. So he becomes Batman, basically. And it's just an amazing story. It's really, really cool. So yeah, I love this kind of stuff. I'll be picking this up, definitely.
So tell me this. So Speed and Bullets is your recommendation. I know there's people in the chat who are big Superman fans, and as you said, Peter, that it's not a character that I enjoy, but I think it's maybe I've not read the right story. So if I read Speed and Bullets, is there any other recommendations in the chat?
Would always go for Kingdom Come, you know that. I love Kingdom Come as an overall story here. And for Superman, if you want something a bit grittier, go Grant Morrison. Go for, I think it's Superman 750 or Action Comics 750. And it's called What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way. And it's the first introduction of Manchester Black and the Elite. And the basic premise of the story is basically this new super team appear, who are more gritty, more 90s, more image kind of thing. And they want to kill people. And it's how everybody turns on Superman because he's too moralistic and stuff. And there's just a phenomenal battle at the end where he cuts loose. And kind of there's a narrative about, you want us to be bad, this is what I can do. But it's more powerful to not do that. And then, of course, there's the Alan Moore classic For the Man Who Has Everything, which is just a beautiful story. Love that one.
I feel as if I've maybe been missing out, and I'm going to have to apologise to all the Superman fans when I catch up with all these. Whoa! We haven't mentioned what you're drinking, Peter.
Root beer again. I'm obsessed with the shit. It's lush. Nice.
I think the shit is the operative words to describe that, to be fair, Peter. Let's catch up on the chat. We've got Fuzzy who's saying if they're doing a Junkyard Joe, then they will definitely come. A Geiger fig would definitely interest me. Glow in the dark, even that'd be pretty cool. A 1/6 scale Geiger would be sweet. They've just released the 10th printing of number 1. Unbelievable. I only stayed in the first 4 issues, so that was for the previous one there. 10th printing? That's crazy.
It's madness.
And did Image Comics, because it's Image Skybound, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did they not say at one point they were going to stop doing second, third, fourth printings?
It's money in it. It's generating lots of money.
Money talks. And the new Absolute Superman has an outstanding cover. We'll definitely be picking it up. It's fantastic. Ed is saying on Image, on Forbidden Planet, Just slow there, sorry. They have the Image first at 65p an issue. Great way to get into things like Philadelphia, Middle West, Descender Geiger, and loads other.
Very
Definitely
true.
check it out. Cool. Fuzzy's suggesting Red Sun is a good Superman.
That's a classic. So that's again Superman, but lands in Russia.
Okay.
Very, very good. Very good.
Is that good?
Dark Reign's very good as well after he becomes a vampire.
Okay, now I'm getting too many. I'm not reading all these Superman. You can just stop there. But once he wants to get into Superman, he's slowly becoming a fan. I haven't even started to become a fan yet. I just need some good recommendations. Deadman Superman for all seasons.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. And probably all the Elseworld Superman stories, and the 3 Jim Lee Absolute covers are good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a Superman fan at some point. Thank you, guys. So next up we have now. Wait a minute, Peter. Don't. Wait a minute. So Quick Stops Volume 2 trade paperback written by Kevin Smith, and the artwork is by Ahmad Rafat. Now, the reason why I picked this, and the only reason why I picked this, is because a good friend of mine actually done one of the front covers for issue number 3, my friend Mark. So I am dedicating this to him. He lives in not too far from me, and we've been friends for a long time, and he got the opportunity because he done some artwork and put it up on Instagram and tagged Kevin. He saw it, and Kevin got in touch with him to do a cover. So he's like a legit illustrator and stuff like that. He's done loads and loads of work, but yeah, did he
do this cover?
No, he didn't do that cover. And I knew it was so funny because whenever I brought this up and I was going to explain it, I was like, well, actually, it wasn't this cover. No, it was issue number 3. It was cover C, I think he done for that. So this is dedicated to my mate Mark, and that's the reason why I'm going to pick this up and give it a read. So next up we have Pharaoh. I haven't read. I think we read issue number 1. I said straight off the bat that it was going to be a humdinger, and it was a stinker. It was an absolute stinker as far as I'm concerned. I didn't enjoy it at all. I think I upset a few people when I said that.
Yeah.
Did anybody continue to read this, Peter? Did you read it? Anybody in the chat? Is it worth it?
I read the first 3 or 4 issues and then gave up. It was going nowhere. Okay. It was dull as ditch water.
Dull as dishwater. So I was absolutely connecting.
Yeah.
I want to see if anybody in the chat's been keeping up. Let's just see. So Fuzzy's saying I like Kevin Smith. However, I never enjoyed a Kevin Smith comic. Oh really? I only read a handful, but never been impressed. I hate the cover for Pharaoh. Not going to lie. You hate it? Okay. Dead Man is saying also. Stopped. Drop me a message, people, with all these Supermans. I'm never going to remember them all. Fuzzy's saying that he's still on Pharaoh and it's gone nowhere still. I knew I was right. And Ed is still on it, but he's hoping. It's a sign of madness, isn't it, when you do the same thing and you expect a different outcome? I think that kind of sums this one up. So that's our 4 trade paperback stroke hardcovers for this week. Should we go straight into our final order cutoff here?
Why not?
Now I know that we talk about this every single week. My preferred place to go for my weekly books is Slav Crusaders. I think it's a great service. Don't need to sell it to anybody because we've been singing his praises for a long time. But final order cut off. A lot of people don't appreciate what FOC is, and it's the opportunity for basically to get your last orders in before they go to print. And it just means that you're guaranteed your book. And from an LCS's perspective, they can just confirm that they're going to get it in for you, so you don't have to pay extortionate prices on eBay. So the first book, I think, was myself that picked this one. I went for Godfather of Hell issue number 1, and this has been released through Vault Comics, and it's a Pius back cover. This particular one. Is this one you've heard of? Peter?
No, I've not heard of this one.
No. It sounded quite an interesting story. So Dario Santini has lived a charmed life as an enforcer and debt collector for the mob. He's had it all: respect, power, even the love of a good woman. but everything changes when he crossed a line and is shot dead on the sidewalk. Walking up in hell, Dario faces a future of pain and suffering unless he can turn eternal damnation into a business opportunity. A neo-noir hellfire from New York Times bestseller Cavan Scott and Bram Stoker award-winning artist Pierce Back. I thought it sounded quite interesting. I thought
Nice.
the art on the front cover looked cool.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I like the look of that.
So this is available October 2nd, and if you're interested, we've got the QR code there. Just get your phone and it will take you straight to the website to be able to pick that up. Next up, we've got Knights versus Samurai issue number 1. This wasn't yours, Peter, was it?
No. This will be Tom.
Oh, yeah, it feels like a Tom book. So this is Knights versus Samurai issue number 1 by Image Comics. And the cover you're looking at there is the Federico Melli cover. And this is available September 25th. I've absolutely no idea what this is about. Any ideas?
Nah, I would imagine. I'm just guessing.
Knights and samurais.
Knights fighting samurais. Yeah.
There we go. I bet that's what the synopsis is. Just knights fighting samurais.
Yeah.
Hello Darkness issue number 3 from Boom Studios.
This will be Charlie.
Jenny Frison cover. This wasn't you. This was Charlie, wasn't it?
Charlie. This will be Charlie.
Yeah, I can see why he's picked this one. I've actually ordered up this cover as well. I think it's absolutely stunning. I'm hoping that they do a foil cover of this.
I think they do. I'm sure we've talked about this one before, and there was a foil, because it looks amazing. It does look amazing.
Yeah, it looks absolutely gorgeous. So again, if you want to pick this up, I know that Charlie's been following this book, but this in particular is a superb cover. Peter,
Tim Sale, man, look at this. So again, I love a bit of Batman now and then, but this is Batman Long Halloween, Last Halloween. So this is a follow-on to all of the previous Tim Sale books that they did, Craigie, years ago now. There was the Long Halloween, there was it Haunted Night, and there was another one. I can't remember what the other one was called. But I've got the 3 volumes in Absolute Edition. This completely passed me by. I didn't realise that this was even coming out. So when I was looking on FOC, this jumped straight out of us. I will buy this, but this is a book that I will absolutely wait and buy in the nicest hardcover that comes out, and read it as one story. I love Tim Sale's artwork on Batman in particular. It's my particular style. I think it's.
I'm assuming it's Jeff Loeb that's doing the writing on it.
Yeah. So I think this will be amazing.
Yeah, this does look fantastic, and those cardstock covers, you can't really go amiss with them. Again, if this one that takes your fancy, I don't know how many issues this is going to be, if it's going to be ongoing.
12, I think it'll be.
Is it 12? Similar to.
I think I might be guessing that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. If this takes your fancy, then just hit that QR code, and it'll take you straight to the website to pick it up. And that is all our FOC books. Where are we with the voting? Just to give people
the voting. Reminder. So we are voting on the channel, and we've also got it in the community vote on the channel as well.
Okay.
We've had 21 votes on the channel so far. Are we doing the results now, or?
No, just to say, where are we at? Is there is it close? Or?
It's a frigging disgrace.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So 14% is me, which is just obscene. 19% is J. Scott Campbell. 29% is Scotty Young's Frankenstein, and then 39% is Clayton Crane's Philadelphia.
But how many votes have we had?
21 on that, and then if we look at the community tab, we've had 9 votes on that, and it's 56% Frankenstein, 33% Batman, 0% Scotty Campbell, 11% Philadelphia.
0% Scotty.
Yeah. So make of this what you will.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's your opportunity. If you haven't voted already, please vote. Even I know that my cover isn't the best cover this week, guys. So please go and vote before we finish off. Let me just jump back into the chat before we move on. So Deadman is saying that he's read up to issue number 4. I think that must have been of Feral. And Connie's saying that something about the cover feels like a draft, like there's something that isn't quite finished to me. That's a story for me rather than the covers. Fuzzy can't see yourself lasting much longer. The covers get me, unfortunately. I love a movie homage. Yeah, the covers are quite
Me
good.
too.
The thing that got me is they pretty much repeated the same homage covers for
It's too
Stray
many
Dogs
now.
as they did as that.
Yeah, it's too many.
My stack is getting stacked. Yeah, I know how that feels. That I'm blessed that James lives reasonably close to me, so he actually delivered my last stack of books, which was a full short box and the 10.0 slab. So yeah, that's what we call service. What can I say?
I need to check it out with James because I haven't got a clue if I've got stuff waiting to be sent. I need to drop him a line.
Yeah, I think he's been busy over it. Definitely busy over because he's been he got a collection and he's been selling individual books. So definitely check that out if you've not already. Connie's saying there that she's behind on comics. She couldn't tell you what's on our pull list anymore. I just pay for them. That's when you know you've got a problem when you just pay for your books. You don't know what you've got. And Ed's definitely in the same boat. Let's jump into our next. Oh, we've got our sneak peeks for next week. So I picked Frankenstein, issue number 1. I think I picked it in the indie pick and all that good stuff. So I'm really looking forward to this book. I think it's going to be fantastic. So I went for that. What one did you go for, Peter?
I went for Aliens versus Avengers, I think. Aliens versus Avengers, isn't it? I mean, it's going to be fun, I would imagine. It's not in continuity, so hopefully some people will die.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's a bit of a gritty.
Hopefully some people will die.
Yeah, I hope it's, I enjoy the Marvel stories where they're not burdened by continuity, so anything can happen, like Marvel Zombies. Do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping this is really good.
Well, we've got a thumbs up for the artwork for that book, so yeah, that's definitely one to check out. The other 2 books that the guys picked was The Nice House by the Sea, and I don't know what issue number that is. I can't see it with my
1 or 2.
old
It'll
eyes.
be maybe it's number 2.
2 maybe.
Yeah, it's just recently restarted, isn't it?
And then we've got, is that I Lie Popeye?
I Lie Popeye.
Wow. And I think somebody had mentioned that and saying that was a good read. So
I think it was Terry, wasn't it? Dead Man.
Listen, how can I host and do my bots at the same time? It's clear that I can hardly host. Never mind control a bot. Let's see. So Dead Man is saying what you were talking about earlier, Peter, about Ghost Machine books. Number 6 isn't due until the 23rd of October, so a month rest probably due to High Street.
Yeah.
There we go. And Fuzzy's confirmed that it was issue number 2 for Nice House by the Sea. So those are the 4 comics. So I think they're already up in the community vote to vote for. So as I say, guys, we'll pick the top one that wins the vote. And if somebody just wants to put in the comments, not on these comments, but whenever we finish, what book you want us to pick, and then we'll just randomly pick a book. Yeah.
Cool. Quite like it when we pick. I quite like it when we pick issue number 1s and things, new series, rather than issue 9 of a book we've been reading every month or whatever. It's quite good to try something new.
Do you remember the time when Charlie picked Wonder Woman issue number 7 and I hadn't read issue number 1, 2, 3? It's a chore when you've got to read more than one. Yeah. Guys, that's us coming to a close for tonight's show. Just some housekeeping to do. You can see us in various socials. I think most of us are going to be closing down our Twitter at some point, or X, or whatever you call it, because rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you can find Charlie at Instagram.com, Geeky Guy Comics. Charlie's also been putting out a lot of reviews of comics on the channel as well. So appreciate even if you just go in and put a thumbs up and a little comment on it, that's appreciated, because I know he's putting a lot of work into those.
Really good as well. They are very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Peter, where can everybody find your good self?
Everywhere. So I'm on Instagram, YouTube. I am on X. I don't use it. I'm on Snapchat.
Triple X.
Triple X. I'm all over the place. So just a little show to give people a little bit of notice on Sunday at 4 p.m. UK time. I'm going to be doing This Is My with Gem Mint. So looking forward to meeting him and chatting with him. So that should be interesting.
Perfect. Yeah, I think you've got a few lined up, haven't you, Peter?
Yeah, I've got Jem, I've got DJ Links, Alex Cormac. Comic Tom said yes, but then he's a hard man to get a hold of. He's not responding, so I don't know what's happening with him. Look, got a few lined up.
Cool. Nice one. You can find me at perpetual.comics on the old Instagram. And you can find Tom Not Quite Mint for all his comic stuff. And Tom Malin PT for all his muscle flexing shenanigans. There's also a Killer Comics show dedicated to Instagram as well. I don't think we have a huge amount of followers on that, so I'd appreciate if you haven't already followed, then please do so. And I think we've got an extra little slide here just to give us a little bit of a boost on our website that we've pulled together. So you can find us at thekillercomicshow.com. And we have a review section on there. Brian Bullen has joined, and you can see he done Patra. He done a review of Patra issue number 1. And I know that Ed is going to be doing some reviews as well. Anybody that fancies giving reviews a go for the website, then just drop me a message and I can get you logged in and access and all that good stuff. But or even if you don't want to review comics, you want to review a toy or whatever, we would appreciate it. Peter, when are you going to write a review?
When I've got 5 minutes, I will. I don't know what I'll review. I'll review something exciting. I'll review something sexy. Do a toy review, wouldn't I?
You could do absolutely anything you want. And we've got a question here. Peter, what did you think of Rare Flavors?
I haven't read it yet, Terry. I haven't read it yet.
So that can be your review. There we go.
Yeah.
See the way I put. Yeah. See what I've done.
Very good. I like how he did that.
Fuzzy saying, well done, lads. Always a pleasure. Apologies for spamming the chat. Lingerie, which has got me excited. You and I both, mate. And Ed's got a request here. He's asking for oh no oh, Jesus, sorry guys. He's asking for some pickups. Do you have any pickups?
I mean, I might have a few. I've got a few to show off. Have you got one or two? Or?
I've got some CGCs that come back that I want to show off.
Okay, nice. So, do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
Mate, you start. I'll finish.
So first of all, got these behind us. This is my new Hot Toys. Well, the Wolverine's a hot toy. The Superman is a third-party figure, but they came the other day. They are pretty sexy. Reviews on my channel. I got this. So I interviewed a guy called the Patron of Comic Art on my This Is My show a little while ago, and he mentioned a book that he's been taking to conventions and getting people to sign, but I just had to have the book. So this is Batman. All about the animated series. It's really hard to get a hold of. Nice. It talks you through all the artwork and everything of the actual TV show. It's just really stunning. Really
that's class. That's awesome.
So very pleased to have grabbed a copy of this after the show. Quite a hard one to get a hold of, that one. So got that. Terry's just mentioned. Terry very kindly sent us a little birthday present of Rare Flavors, which were mentioned I think on the show a little while ago, and I said I think I was going to get the trade paperback, so he sent us the full series. Terry, sorry, Ram B, yeah. So Terry, thank you massively for that, mate. Really do appreciate it. I haven't had a chance to read them yet, but I will read them. But it's it's up to date. So over the moon with that. Now this is a one I remember seeing years ago, but I never managed to get a copy. And I love a good trade paperback. But this is a classic. This is by Stan Lee. Bring on the Bad Guys.
Oh, very good.
So it's a trade paperback. It's text to start with, talking about all the kind of the villains in the Marvel universe, and then it goes into the origins of a lot of the kind of the heavy hitter villains, and tells you all about them. So origin of the Red Skull.
Does that smell good, Peter?
It smells. Yeah, it's dirty. It's nice.
It smells like your granny's front room.
It certainly does. It does, yeah. So yeah, love that. So like I say, each villain's kind of story and then a bit of text afterwards talking about the villains. I got a huge box of Sync Monsters. So this was a Kickstarter by Alex Cormac and John Lees. I think I've got about... I always go a bit mad with Sync because I love it so much. I think I've got about 13 different covers or something of this. But this one that I'm showing you is the metal version.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's stunning. Alex's artwork is absolutely amazing. I think at the moment is via Kickstarter, but it's gonna hit the comic shops again. So they're restarting it with issue 11, I think, starting in November. So it's going to come back to the comic shop. So that's great news.
Awesome.
The last thing to show off, you'll remember a few months ago our good friend Tom very, very kindly gifted us this copy of Transformers, because I'd been after a copy for a long time, and he had a copy and I was very, very jealous. It's a lovely copy, really, really pleased with it, and it'll stay in my collection forever because it's a gift from a friend, and I keep things like that. But it did make us have a bit of an itch, so so I
did you scratch it?
I did. I scratched it. So I got a CGC. I nearly went for a 9.8, but it was too pricey. So
I love the way Peter you premise with, and I would never give this away, and I'd never sell it, because this is a friend that gave it to me. But look at this.
That is more important than that, to be honest. That's a lovely gesture. But I like a slab as well, and I wanted a high grade, so I've gone for the 9.6 Transformers.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's me pickups.
Nice. Let's just jump back into chat before I show off some of my stuff. Connie's saying here that it would be cool to do some reviews on novelizations of comic stories too. Absolutely, yeah. Connie, just drop me a message and I'll get you sorted for the website, and that would be amazing. And it's super easy to do as well. Fuzzy's asking thoughts on the mini DC books. I like the idea of smaller size, and for a tenner you can't go wrong. Have you seen those?
Well, I've not seen them. No, I'm not seen them.
Yeah, it's like the smaller format books for like major stories and stuff like that, like well-known stories, and it's a good sort of entry point, I guess, for new readers, I guess. But yeah, I've seen those. Fuzzy, they look good.
Sound cool.
Fuzzy he needs them sync books. Was that? Did you just say those were all through Kickstarter?
So the current issues are through Kickstarter, but you can get volume 1 and 2 of the trade paperbacks at Thought Bubble and from John's site himself. And I know I bang on about sync because I like John and Alex a lot, but if you like your horror, and Fuzzy being from your neck of the woods, you've absolutely got to read these stories because it's just brilliant, because it's all set in Scotland. It's all set in Scotland, you know.
Specifically Glasgow, and I got issue number 1 from John, and he signed it at one of the conventions that I was at in Glasgow, and it just reminds me so much of the horrors of home.
So interestingly, I can't remember if it's Glasgow or Edinburgh, probably Glasgow, but John's been posting on his Instagram recently that he's over the moon because their local Forbidden Planet have now got a dedicated John Lee section. So, Fuzzy, I'm not sure where you are up in Scotland, but you can get all these trade paperbacks and stuff. And he was putting pictures on Instagram of, they've got kind of a John Lee label and stuff. So yeah, it's great stuff.
Yeah, we'll definitely get some fans. So Connie says she found Sync 1 when she was moving and was going to source volume number 2. And Ed needs to get the Sync trade and give it a read. Same with Deadman. Sync is great. Got them from John, both signed. And you've done a couple of interviews with John as well. He seems a top man.
He's great. Yeah. He's great.
Lovely stuff. Okay, I've got some CGCs. So these are books that were in my PC, which I sent off myself. They haven't been pressed or cleaned. And I sent off some books for Sean and James as well. So we normally do that. We sort of split the costs and things like that. So the first one was Catwoman issue number 50.
Oh, nice.
9.8 white pages. It's a Sozamaika cover.
Yeah.
So absolutely love this cover. Beautiful.
Nice. I like that one. Just before you go on, Andy, have you looked at those books for Bendgate, Banana Gate?
But funnily enough, I was watching a YouTuber from America, and he was talking about it. And one of the books has, when you look at the side, it looks as if it's warped, but I don't have any of those dents that MG Comics
that's good.
stuff was talking about. So But I must say the quality controls were really downhill with these,
Okay.
because some of them you can hear like a slight movement in the book and stuff like that. But this one was Something is Killing the Children, issue number 30. So I picked this up from Red Stores. This is the
nice.
Jenny Frison foil 1 in 100 cover.
Yeah.
And I was happy to get a 9.8
Nice.
for that. So as I said, none of these were pressed or cleaned or anything like that. Were just sent. I just picked them out and sent them. Another Sousa Micah cover. This is Catwoman number 43. And this is the 1 in 25 cover.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. Beautiful cover, but again, 9.8. You may remember I ordered some of the Scotty Young Transformers covers.
Yeah.
And I sent yourself and I sent Fuzzy a copy of them. So as long as you've looked after them, boys, you should be able to get a 9.8.
Nice.
Because
Very nice.
I sent this one and I sent this one. So I sent two of the 3 copies that I had. I kept a raw copy and sent it. So if anybody's looking for a copy, then send me a DM and we can work something out.
Nice.
Last but not least, this was a pickup from my local Forbidden Planet, and I picked it up for £2. And this one has been pressed and cleaned, but then I left it for like a year to unpress and clean itself. And it's Brian Boland's Wonder Woman. And I didn't care what the grade was. I love this cover so much.
It's a classic cover, isn't it?
Superb. Absolute classic. So,
what's the date on that one, Andy?
That is from 1993.
Yeah. Stunning run.
Yeah.
Love that book.
And interestingly enough, I'm looking at this now. I don't know if that dent was there before.
Right.
You probably can't see it, but no, I'll take a closer picture of it and put it on my socials. But there's a definite bend in the thing. So there is.
See, I've just getting 11 books back from being pressed, and they're all signature books, with some original artwork on them as well. And I'm humming and hawing about whether I send them in to be graded or not, just because of that risk of the bend. I think I probably will. I think I'll still send them.
It's an interesting conversation though, because again, if that had happened to one of the 9.8s, would I really be that worried about it? Because am I more worried about the bend or am I worried about the grade?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's in plastic. I'm not going to take it out, or I just I guess it's a discussion for another time. But yeah, it's a hard one. But yeah, that was pretty much all my pickups. Phil has just joined. Phil, how are you, sir? Phil, let me know if you're going to come and meet our good friend Peter here when he's over in Belfast the next couple of weeks. Let me know. Ed, I think, is interested in one of the books. Yeah, Ed, drop me a message. Me and Ed normally we don't do money, we do trades. So we trade each other stuff all the time. Fuzzy's either laughing or crying or both.
He's crying because he wants that Transformers CGC.
Oh. Send me a message, Fuzzy. Send me a message. Deadman saying, have you got the statue to go with Wonder Woman? No. No, is there a statue that I need to know about?
It's a stunning statue.
Deadman saying he used to have it but sold it on eBay about 3 years ago. So yes, Pete and James T. Keegan is definitely joining us in a couple of weeks. So guys, that's pretty much us. Apologies for my horrific hosting.
It was superb. Superb.
I don't think I've stopped talking in the last 1 hour and 35 minutes, so apologies, Peter.
It's been great.
Let everybody know what you're going to be doing over the next week on the YouTubes and all that good stuff.
I think I've got a load of videos coming out about... So when I went on my cruise, I ended up bumbling into about 4 or 5 different comic shops and different weird geeky type shops. So I've got videos coming out on each of those. So today I put one out about, I think it was Italy today. And then I've got one about Barcelona, Spain and things like that. So a few of those coming out. And then I've got a whole host of other videos coming out. Sunday, like I said, we've got the interview with Gem Mint at 4 o'clock. And then on Monday, I've got the return of our toy show, and we've got a new member joining the team. So there is a new member joining the team who's going to be talking all
About your favourite subject?
Lego. Yeah, fuck me. So
Sorry,
yeah,
Fuzzy.
yeah,
I know Fuzzy's not a big fan of Lego.
yeah. So we've got Andy joining the team to talk Lego. Sorrel won't be here on Monday because he's going off on holiday. So sadly there'll be no dolls, teddy bears, or plushies. But we will have Lego to replace it. Yeah.
And speaking of double acts to be proud of, I appreciate that, Deadman. Assuming he's talking about me and you, me and you might have a little something in the works, something that
Absolutely. So we've been planning it for a while because we don't want to rush into it because we want it to be a very strong show. But myself and Andy will be launching a new show coming up with all kinds of stuff. And just to absolutely confirm, it will be comic book geeky content. It's not going to be drama and bollocks. It's going to be purely talking about the stuff we love. So looking forward to that.
There might be a bit of bollocks.
Yeah, we'll be bollocks.
And Phil saying here, a new member, have you reviewed his application yet?
Lost in the post, that one, Phil.
I was going to say lost in the post. And I'm not entirely sure if that was the Lego thing or the fact that me and you've got a little something in the works. I think the latter.
Lego thing, I'm sure. I'm sure it's the Lego.
But guys, thank you so much for everybody in the chat, for commenting, for being a part of the show. Hopefully we'll be back to full force next week, the four of us on the show.
I may be a little bit late next week because the interview with Rodney Barnes is 8 o'clock on Thursday, but it's only going to be an hour, so I'll be jumping straight on.
No, sorry, Peter. No, that's not allowed. We'll talk when we go off here. No, seriously, guys, thank you so much, Peter. Thank you for keeping me sane as I do this mad hosting stuff. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how Charlie does it, and hopefully I won't be doing it again quickly. So, guys, thank you so much. No, naturally, crap. Guys, have a good evening, and we will see you next week. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.
Bye.
End stream.
End stream.